Namaste and welcome back to the JavaScript series. My name is Rohit and my friends, in the last couple of classes we have been learning some fundamental concepts of JavaScript. But if you've been focusing in this series, then you would have realized one thing. What we call as programming is basically creating a collection of instructions which we would then be feeding to the microprocessor of the computer, which then executes it and gives us the desired result. But please try to understand, so far, whatever instructions we have written, when you execute them, how does it execute? The normal flow of execution is always from the first statement that you have written or the first instruction that you have written sequentially downwards like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One by one, one after the other, right? But please try to understand, to achieve complex logics in the amazing softwares that you're going to be developing in the future, sometimes the flow of execution cannot be sequential like this. Let me give you an example. Let us assume you've written 3 instructions. After the 3 instructions execute sequentially, we want one condition to be checked. If something is greater than something, if something is lesser than, if something is equal to, we want to check some condition. If you check a condition, there can only be 2 outcomes. Either the condition can be true or yes, or the condition can be false or no. Now, depending upon whether the condition was true or false, if it is true, only then I want these instructions to execute. If it is false, then I want these instructions to execute. So you can see now the flow of our program is not really sequential in nature, right? It's taking different paths. So either these 3 instructions will execute or these 3 instructions will execute, right? After that, I want the next 2 instructions to execute. So you can see how the flow is, right? So either we will be taking this path or we will be taking this path. Very important in programming. Let me give you another example. For example, let us assume we have 11 instructions. We start executing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this 5, 6, 7, 8, these 4 instructions, I want them to keep repeating. I want them to keep repeating. How many times? 5 times. I want them to repeat 5 times. So 5, 6, 7, 8, I want them to execute. Again 5, 6, 7, 8, again 5, 6, 7, 8, like this 5 times. After I execute these statements 5 times, then I want the next 3 statements to continue. Right? Now these are all the different scenarios which you should be able to achieve while programming, without which you cannot write complex logics. In order to do all of this, my dear friends, you need to learn something called as control structures in programming, right? Every programming language supports these control structures, which can broadly be divided into 2 types. One what we call as control or conditional statements, and the other what we call as loops. Conditional statements and loops. Under conditional statements, we have if statement, we have if-else statement, we have if-else statement, we have switch statement, we have the ternary operator, we have comparison operators. Right? Under loops, we have for loop, while loop, do while loop, for off loop, for in loop. We have nested loops, we have something called as loop controls, breaking. Right? Different things. I know it's a lot to consume in one shot. But if you're a beginner trying to learn programming, this is one of the most important classes that you'll ever be attending. And without wasting time, let's dive deep into the world of control structures in programming. Let's begin by understanding conditional statements, right? Your if-else, your switch, your ternary. What is all this? Let's explore. Let me give you an analogy. Let us assume you're a security guard at a very famous nightclub. Lot of people queue up in front of your club every day. Now, as a security guard, you need to make some decisions based on some conditions as to whether you can allow a person inside or not. The decision can be whether they are of legal age, whether they carry a valid ID card, or whether there is any more place left in the club. Is it at full capacity? And if it is at full capacity, you cannot allow people inside, right? Now, this is like a perfect scenario to use conditional statements in programming. Now, imagine the security guard was a program. Now, how would a program decide whether you're of legal age, whether you have valid ID card, whether it is of capacity, the club is working at full capacity or not, right? So, let me just help you visualize whatever I'm trying to tell you. Now, for example, if I were to go here, This is the code that we had written last class. I'll just delete all of this. I'll just remove the terminal for the time being. Now try to understand. I will just go here and I'll be like, let age equal to 20. Let us assume the age of the person is 20. Now what I want to do is, I want to check if in case. This is called as if statement. How it looks, how an if statement looks is, this is the syntax. You will have if, you will have brackets. You will have these flower brackets. Now what you will be writing inside this brackets is the condition that you want to check. Is the condition you want to check. If the condition is valid or true, only then this would execute. If the condition is invalid or false, then whatever is inside this bracket would not execute. In fact, this block itself will not execute. Directly control will come down, and if you write any statement here, this will execute. Yes? For example, here I would go and check only if in case the age is greater than equal to 18, in which case I would be telling console.log. console.log, and within this I would be saying probably something like welcome to the club, right? Welcome to the club. You can type anything, I'm just writing something like this. I hope you're able to understand. Yes? Now tell me, what is the age? 20. Now come here and check. If in case, check if age is greater than equal to 18. Yes, age is 20. Is it greater than equal to 18? Yes. Yes means true, no means false. If in case it is true, then I'll get welcome to the club. If it was false, I'll not get any output. And now if in case I were to go here and I would try to execute this piece of code, you can clearly see welcome to the club. But if I were to go here and probably let's say a 15-year-old is trying to act over smart and get into the club, right? Now if in case I go here and I were to execute it, you will see you did not get this message because the condition evaluated to be false. So this is a very simple example. Now the example that I gave you is a very non-technical example, right? Now let us try to tie it to some real-world example which actually happens in the software industry. Now let us assume you're an e-commerce company like an Amazon or a Flipkart, right? Now obviously people come and they are shopping on your website and they keep adding items onto the cart. Now let us assume as Amazon, if somebody were to purchase products worth more than 10,000 rupees, then you would like to give them free shipping. You don't want to charge them for shipping, right? And I'm sure you observed things like this on different e-commerce websites, right? So this also is a perfect case for an if condition. What do I mean by this? Let me show you. For example, if I were to just go here and type out some code, I'll just go and say, let say cart total equal to say 12,000 rupees, right? Now what I'm going to do is, I will go here and check if in case, try to understand, if in case the cart total, if it is greater than or equal to 10,000, in which case I would just like to come here and probably give one message out to the user where I'll be like, you have qualified for free shipping, like this, with an exclamation probably, right? Now please try to understand, what is the cart total? 12,000. Is 12,000 greater than or equal to 10,000? Yes. Yes evaluates to true, and hence you will get this message. Okay, maybe the message was not completely visible to you. I think now it is. Am I clear till here? And if I were to now try to go and execute this, obviously you're going to get that you have qualified for free shipping. But if this was probably 2,000 rupees, then obviously you are not going to be getting any message. I think you're able to understand. Great, let's proceed further. All right, now let's proceed to understanding if-else statement in JavaScript, right? So let me give you an analogy for this. Let us assume you go to the airport. Now there's some time before your flight takes off. Now you decide to go and relax in the lounge. Now in every airport there are two types of lounges. One is a regular lounge, another is a VIP lounge, right? Now how do you get access to the VIP lounge? If in case you're a VIP, maybe you are the Prime Minister or you're an extremely important businessman or a celebrity, and these are the kind of people who get access to the VIP lounge, right? So how does that work out? So if in case you are a VIP, only then you have access to the VIP lounge, otherwise you have access to the regular lounge, right? Now this is something which is a good analogy for an if-else statement. Please try to understand and let me show you what I mean by this, right? So I'll just go remove all of this code. And here what I would like you guys to understand is I'll just go and probably I'll just create let is VIP. I'll just create one variable is VIP. And inside this, friend, I'll be storing, let us assume you are a VIP, so true. If you're not a VIP, false. Now what I will be doing is, I'll say if, look at the syntax carefully, if, and below that I will go and say else, like this. This is the syntax. If a particular condition is satisfied, then this will happen. If the condition is not satisfied, otherwise or else, this will happen. Am I clear? Now all I will do there is, I'll go and check, is VIP, is this equal to true, like this, right? If it is true, then I will come inside this and say console.log and I'll say probably welcome welcome to the VIP lounge, like this, something like that. But if in case you're not a VIP, then I will come to else and I will be telling regular entrance, welcome to the regular lounge, like this. Am I clear till here? So you can see the flow of the program. If the condition is true, this, otherwise this. I will understand. Now let's try to execute this and check it out. If in case I were to go here and if I were to execute it, clearly you can see welcome to the VIP lounge because yes, you are a VIP. If in case I were to make this as false, then clearly you can notice you will get welcome to the regular lounge. I think you understood. Now this is something which probably is a non-technical way of explaining things. If I have to technically say the same, let us assume the account balance of a savings account is 1000 rupees, right? Now obviously if somebody tries to withdraw the amount that you're trying to withdraw should either be equal to or lesser than the amount in the account. You cannot obviously withdraw something which is not there or more than what is there in the balance, right? So please try to understand. If this is something which I have to write programmatically and show you, try to understand. I'll just go here and probably I'll say, let me just remove the terminal. Let balance equal to 1000, like this. There's 1000 rupees in your account. Now what I'm going to do is I will just go here and say if and I will be telling else. Now please try to understand. I'll go here and I'll create one more variable. I'll call it as probably withdrawal amount, like this. Withdraw amount. Just a variable like this. This is the amount I want to withdraw. Let us assume I want to withdraw 700 rupees from the 1000 rupees I have. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and check if in case the balance is greater than or equal to whatever is the withdrawal amount. If such is the case, then I will go here and say console.log and I will say withdrawal or I'll say transaction successful, like this. Am I clear? But if in case the balance is not equal to or let us assume it is lesser than what you want to withdraw. In which case, I'll just copy this console.log statement. I will be pasting it in this else part and here I will just change the message. I will probably say instead of transaction successful, I will say insufficient balance, like this, right? And this is what you see in your ATM screens or when you're trying to do some net banking, etc. So in this case, if I were to try to execute it, I'll go here. Now you can see the balance is 1000. What I'm trying to withdraw is 700. Is 1000 greater than or equal to 700? Yes. Yes means if, no means else. Clearly I will say transaction successful. If in case I were to clear the screen, go here and probably make this as 500. Let us I have only 500 rupees in my balance, right? Now I'll be going here and if in case I were to execute it, clearly you can see insufficient balance. if and else, control structures, right? There is one more control structure which I feel you must and should know before we proceed into actually solving some programs. What is that? Let me show you. Alright, next let's take a look at if, else, if, else statement. Now what is this, you may ask? Let me give you an analogy first. In India, one of the best ways to travel across the country and one of the most connected ways to travel across the country is through the railways, right? By train. Now, if you are from India, you know that in India, if your age is below 12 years old, you are treated as a child and you have a different ticket price. But if your age is greater than 12, but lesser than 65 years old, you are treated as an adult. You have a different ticket price. At the same time, if it is above 65 years old, you are treated as a senior citizen, in which case you have a different ticket price, correct? So, for this analogy, let me try to show you some code, okay? Before I write the code, let me try to visualize it for you. So let us assume we start our program, and the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to check the age of the person. Now when I check the age of the person, if the age of the person is less than 12, then what am I going to do? Directly I am going to provide the child ticket price for them, right? After I provide the child ticket price, my program would be ending. But when I check the age, if the age is greater than or equal to 12, right? In which case, what should I do? I should not directly give the adult price, because if it is greater than or equal to 12, it can also be a senior citizen, because greater than 12 can be anything, right? 13, 14, 15, 25, 35, 45, 57, even above 65. So again, one more condition I will be checking, as you can see here. Here now I will check, is the age a senior citizen's age? Senior check I will do. Now here two things can happen. Either the age can be greater than or equal to 65, or the age can be lesser than 65. If it is greater than or equal to 65, then I will be giving the senior ticket price. But if it is lesser than 65, I will be giving the adult ticket price. And either ways, I will be ending it. Yes? So you can clearly see there is a condition here on basis on which there is either a if or there is a else. But in the else, further there is a second condition being checked, after which there is a if or there is an else. If, else, if, else. I hope you're able to understand. Am I clear? Now, whatever I showed you here, if in case we have to go and write some code for this, let me just go and remove the previous code, whatever we have written. So here very simple. I'll say let age equal to 14. Now 14 is the age of the person. Now what I will be doing here is, first I'll say if. Okay, look at this carefully. Here I will check if age is greater than or equal to 12. If the age is greater than or equal to 12, okay, now what I'm going to do is, or very simple, first of all, if I have to relate it to whatever I showed you now, first we will be checking if the age is lesser than 12. First we will check if it is child ticket price. In that case, it's very simple. I'll just come here and I'll say console.log, and within double quotes I will say child ticket price. I think you're able to understand. But let us assume the age is not less than 12, right? In which case, I'll come to else. But in else, I will have to further again check a condition. So see, I'll leave a space and I will again say if. And what is the condition you'll check here? If age is greater than or equal to 12. I hope you're able to understand. If the age is greater than or equal to 12, I will be coming here, and what I will be doing here is a very simple thing, right? So the remaining control structures, which are these, we will be discussing in part 2 of this video. I highly recommend you guys to go and practice whatever has been spoken about it, and don't forget the notes that I have prepared on each topic that we will be discussing across this series, which is available in the description below. Thank you so much for attending. Catch you in the next class.